the all-in-one modular art box. I was sent this product for free to try out, and I'm going to give it my honest review. However, it's going to take me some time to give this review as I'm about to open it here with you now. So let's see what's inside. I haven't even opened it yet because I kind of wanted to share this moment with you guys as well. I have no idea fully what to expect in this box. So, oh, it comes in pieces. Oh. Oh my. Holy crap. There's a lot going on here. I don't even know where to start. Let's see what is in this bad boy. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is for the wet palette then. That's what I'm getting at here. Alright. And okay, so again for the wet palette. Instruction manual maybe? 10 sheets? Okay, so this is all for the wet palette, so that's good because any painter for miniature would know a wet palette is the way to go. There is no... Once you've started, if you've never tried a wet palette, I can pretty much guarantee you when you do it, you will never go back. I did this without a wet palette for a long time, and I have never gone back. This is my broke lady wet palette from the dollar store. So let's see what a broke lady palette comes up against with a more pricier one. But I mean, let's just say there's a lot going on here to even start with. Now I'm doing this with you guys because as I said, I have not even looked at this myself, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But these I can see are where the water's supposed to go, and obviously this looks like it will hold your brushes. It's a very soft rubber. Oh, there's a catch-all down here too. Okay, this can pull out. So, okay, right here, soft rubber, silicone, whatever, and then a catch right here. I would assume, I would hope that you wouldn't put your brush in there because that's just gonna ruin your brush, but putting it the other way, for example, not bad. Let's see what else this can do. I will say I was excited for this. It will go at the bottom of the cup, right there. And what's nice and important, so when you go to clean your brush, you want it to ripple gently against those to help break up that paint off of your brush and get it clean. And it's easily removable because I can guarantee when your paint water sits, all that sludge goes at the bottom, and with this being a nice silicone, it looks like it wouldn't be too hard to clean. Probably like something with for dishes, like your brush scrubber, should definitely help get this off pretty easily. And I do like that there is two separate cups, as I would be probably notorious to have a dirty cup and a clean cup, because when I need to add water to my paint to thin it out will be from clean water, and then I'm gonna have a dirty cup for when I need to clean off my brush. You definitely, I've done it, but you don't want to use your dirty cup, your only one thing of water, to water down your paint, as there's a chance you can just mix pigments and it's just gonna look gross, and just don't do it if you can avoid it. So kind of nice that it comes with two separate ones. We'll start there. I will say right now I am liking that all of this comes apart as well, so it's like, if I don't like this, I can take it out. If I don't need any of this, I just want a straight up cup for my dirty water, I can just do this, and that is nice. So we have our water compartment up here. Let's check out what's all down here. I will say I spent a good minute trying to figure out how to take these clasps off camera because I'm dumb, but I will say it is very hard to take off, and maybe because it's like a first time use. Please hold. I'm not gonna tell you how long that took me because I have very weak hands apparently. Okay, so, oh no, there's more. There is more clasps to take off. Okay. Oh, that one wasn't so bad. That one wasn't so bad. Oh! Oh! I might also just be stupid. Maybe there's... I don't know. I'll get back to that. Let's see what's in here. Oh! Paper. Ah! Cleaning art books. Yada yada. Yeah. Do's and don'ts. Let's see. And what to expect in your art box. This would have been nice sooner. Ah. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be for your wet palette. Let's get that set up. So I'm taking out one of these. It looks like one comes in one. We have this nice spongy feeling. It's so soft and it's already pretty moist a little bit, which is important to keep these things wet. They can mold, at least with my Broke Lady version. I have a rag under here and it does need to get washed out every so often. It's just to help retain that water, because if you just put the paper on the water, it's not going to be a pleasant story. But if you want to go fancy and more modern, these sponges definitely can come in handy, and they're already pre-shaped, which is also a bigger plus than you may think. Putting it down here, so you're going to want to add some clean water in here in this department so you can keep that sponge wet, and then we're going to need the next piece. Opening this for the special paper. It's just parchment paper, typically. And then once you get that water in here, which I currently do not have at this split moment, you will put it on here and it will suction cup to this, to the sponge on the inside. And these things are honestly super handy. And what's also nice is that, like, yeah, the container was a bit of a pain to open, but you want to make sure it is sealed properly, as again, these can get moldy. So, you know, I mean, mine honestly, I can last about 2-3 weeks maybe on this. And for me, I start to change it, if it looks like it needs to be changed, or if it starts to smell and kind of get like that mildewy kind of smell, then I get the whole thing out. I will use cleaner on it, make sure, you know, there is no mold left over. And very rarely does it ever get to that point. And especially if you are painting on a constant basis like I can do, you're going to be changing this out no matter what, because you're going to need a piece of new paper. You're going to need to replace the water, because the water will at some point, chances are, your paint is gonna accidentally spill over the sides here. I found some water to put in here, just a little bit. I got the sponge wet. I only had a very limited amount of water. Actually, I might be able to find some more. You know, there we go. You see how that soaked it all up? And now if you squeeze it a little bit, that water kind of just pours right out. This is good. You want that. You want to make sure this sponge is nice and moist. And then we're gonna put this paper in here, and as I mentioned, it will pleasantly suction cup to the paper and just kind of push out those air bubbles a little bit. There we go. Now, chances are when you get paint on here, it's gonna happen no matter what. You're gonna probably get some paint on this corner, and then it's gonna absorb into everything else and kind of smooch around. That's when you kind of make sure you clean it up every so often. You don't really want that. Now, when your paper starts to do this, typically it means your sponge is not quite wet enough. So I'm going to want to add a little bit more water to this. And when you go to mix your paint in these, this paper might be stronger than what I use. But you want to be very careful, and, you know, very careful when you mix paint on these, because you can tear a hole through it. Again, I don't know about this specific one, which I will be testing, but normally in my low maintenance one, the paper can tear pretty easily. I'm going to add some water to this. I usually keep this water jug around for my airbrush. Okay, that might be a tiny bit too much water now. Empty that out. Okay, emptied some out. You don't want it like pouring out really. You just want to make sure everything is nice and soaked in here. Put the paper back in. Smush out all the bubbles, just because they mostly just personally bug me. There. And now we can add our paints. And, you know, per se, you can start a project, you can't finish it. take this lid, securely close it, and then you can take on your project for next time. Super important. Now, some paints, if you happen to open it and your paint has separated, sometimes that's just an issue with the paint. Typically not so much with the palette, it's going to be your paint. Some paints you can do that overnight or over a couple days. Some paints you cannot do that. It just kind of depends, and sometimes just certain colors don't want to do it. So keep that in mind if you open it and you're like, holy crap, what happened to my paint? Sometimes you can just mix it together and it'll be just fine. Other times you just got to get a little bit more paint. So always work with a little, you can always add more. But paint palettes, like wet palettes, super handy, especially if you're going to be painting for, you know, a longer time period. Now, if you're just doing something real quick, you can probably just put on like a silicone mat, get what you need, add your liquid and stuff to it, and carry on your day and wipe it clean. Like, as you can see, I've done here a couple times, but if you plan on painting something for a long time, it's an absolute must to use a wet palette. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's move on to the next one. Now, if I recall, I think this has 2 wet palettes in it. Okay, that wasn't hard to open. Yeah, okay, so it comes with 2 wet palettes. Nothing wrong with that. And, oh dear. I will say I am not sure if I'm a fan of these super clasps. I get the idea of it, but I'm a weak person, I guess. Now, this is what I want to see. Here. Those ones weren't too bad to open. Okay. Paints on the go. Looking at this would be something I feel that you would take. Gouache would probably be good to keep in this, or acrylic paint if you're painting on the go. I don't think it would be such a bad idea. Now, these ridges here are amazing, because what this is doing, especially when it comes to paints, even acrylic paints, but like gouache, you gotta keep moist, you gotta, you know, keep the moisture in there. With having these ridges, I feel is really going to help seal this up, or at least I would hope so, and keep it good for a longer period of time. So that's really nice. And even when I open it, you kind of hear that like air swishing sound. I feel that's a good sign to help, like, knowing that it's going to keep it sealed. So if you're on the go painter, which I am not, but I definitely tend to use these palettes. Now, I'm not sure the point of this. I don't know what that's for. Maybe to, I assume, wipe the paint off your brush, which, you know, I could see that being handy. So then you're not doing it on these sides, because if you do it on these sides, you're gonna put one color in the other. So I would assume that's what it's for, not for this musical I'm making it to be. But these are pretty cool. I will also say, if you didn't even need or want a second palette, a wet palette, and again, if you're an on-the-go painter, going to a friend's house, whatnot, brushes. Just keep brushes and stuff in here, whatever else you may need. Now, would I personally keep brushes in here? No, I would not, because I'm very temperamental with my brushes, and to me, all I'm gonna hear is knowing my brush is gonna hit against there is going to drive me insane. Now, only a few brushes do I keep the caps on, but like over here, you can see my brushes are all perfectly pointing upwards. Everything is in the right direction, because I'm very picky with how my brush is going to come out to be. But if you're not, or if you're working with like acrylic paints that don't really require like the perfect brushes, you know, then bring it. Even better, if you have kids and you don't give a crap about your brushes like kids do, really, that's also really good, because my kids certainly don't have brush care, and it drives me insane. Maybe because I'm a painter, but holy crap, it drives a nail through my heart. But yeah, these are cool. I am going to try to get another smaller, shorter video in of going over how I've used it and how I feel it may or may not have helped me. I'm gonna give it my honest review. Like, don't get me wrong, I am super grateful to have this sent to me. As for me just to try it out, I am so honored by that, like, honestly. But I'm going to give it my honest review no matter what. So I'm going to give this a try. These paint palettes down here, I can see myself using them, but not a whole lot. I might just keep other things in here, like miniature bases, like that, you know, help sort them out. I'll figure out something for this, I imagine. Wet palettes though, I'm kind of liking this. The ceiling thing is pretty nice. The water thing is interesting. I'm using, you know, a yogurt cup for mine. And that's as far as that goes. Now it will take up more space. I'm kind of limited to space on my desk because I have a lot of paint. But I am curious how this will go, so you're gonna hear more about this and more about this wet palette. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to hear more about it, or if you want more videos like this. I mean, let me know. I'd love to hear what you think.